this is a problem. The world is not looking after this in the right way. I've noticed with my son, his attention span is shocking compared to my girls. And it is the nature of iPads, not just iPads in general or technology. It's that quick fix hit of information. He's not very good at even sitting and watching a movie. I'm like, stay. Too bad if it gets a bit boring. You stay, you concentrate, and you kind of sit through it. The brain needs retrained. I don't think sometimes people look at their brain as part of their makeup of what they would start to implement for health and all these other areas. People just don't. And if I'm honest, it's the biggest area of all. Make sure you're choosing better choices, right? Because even when people are watching a movie, but they're on their phone like that split focus, it's actually fracturing for the brain. It's like one of the worst things you can do. I notice people doing it all the time. I think for me, because I use my brain in the way I do, even to hear higher spiritual information, I have to be really mindful of what I'm creating and what I'm doing. And for you, the change takes place by making small choices and almost, empowering self through choice and actually kind of committing and staying the course and getting something done. It's like building a muscle. It's like building more memory around, I kind of now have got more of this reference point, because old patterns almost, they play like into addictions in a sense. Anything that's on repeat constantly is just, it's quite a lot harder to break. So I just feel like consciously you'd have to be more aware of going, no, I'm not going to do that. And it's not actually re-regulation. It's putting more and more and more information in here that has to get processed, right? And so you need to give your brain recovery and rest time to kind of re-regulate before you go to sleep. Your body is telling you it's tired. You have to listen to those cues, but put an in-between step in. Maybe listen to a meditation, go to bed and shut down some of your other sensory, responses, because it's creating overload, and maybe just listening to something in the relaxation, you will then re-regulate and fall asleep. So there is things with like sleep etiquette. Unfortunately, it is about kind of programs and patterns and really just adopting really good kind of, structured day-to-day habits. I have to admit, I'm a bit of a creature of habit. They are what honestly support me. Even when I go on holiday, I sometimes don't like it because I'm out of sync. I kind of have all my little things that I like to do. You need to be really accountable to self and just say, look, I need to make some better kind of choices. How could you cultivate that elsewhere in your life? But by choosing you first, as in maybe there's things that you would like to do. If you go and do them amongst other people, you will find the connection there rather than just trying to go for that kind of instant connection. Like seriously, when you start scrolling on social media, I will admit I do it sometimes too. It's such a waste of time. And then you think, what did I even do here? I don't even know what I just looked at or did. Like there's not even any memory or learning or information. There's some great things that you could be putting in your mind, even if it is a re-regulation through watching something. So be mindful, I guess, of what you're consuming, I want to say. It doesn't have to be a whole cut-off choice. It just has to be a re-regulation of the choice. So I bet you're kind of beating yourself up that you've wasted time, or that you're kind of now just wired, or like it's almost like you're losing time. That's what I feel like on social media. It's like I'm losing time. Right? There's no compound of anything great that's come out of it. So again, it's like, okay, how can I meet my needs, but in a different way? But if it comes to sleep at night, it's just setting up the foundations for having that kind of good nighttime rest. And it's actually being really proactive about what you're doing and why you're doing it, and seeing a higher why on something often brings more motivation to do something.